So I've been really excited to share this video with you. This is the part 2 of my Missouri adventures this year. Missouri is a 2-buck state, so you can shoot a buck with a bow and you can shoot one with a rifle. And you know, I came out this year not having high expectations after filling 2 tags last year, but I had just shot a great buck with my bow, and now it's the night before rifle season. So all the guys are in camp, and you know, we're having some drinks, we're having fun, and we do this little ritual each night, actually each day in the afternoon too, where we get a deck of cards, and everybody, starting at the youngest guy up to the oldest, gets to draw a card. So guess what? Yours truly drew an ace, and I had just been hunting the different properties for the last couple days, and I knew exactly where I wanted to go. Where are you hunting tomorrow, Dad?
Who knows? People keep coming. We may not draw till like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, Travis and Megan, and they were like BFFs. Like they played the whole. They watched me. You know, the whole reception. It would have been the summer, but it's right after you guys moved back too. So we should back in 2000.
With the king. So where am I gonna go and shoot a little one at?
Yeah.
These two.
I'm gonna get a king.
First 10.
Yeah. You got your own heater?
So I got in nice and early, and the biggest thing I told my dad when I was going into my spot is, you know, this particular spot, it's dense with cedars. There's a lot of low canopy, and it's just thick, a lot of leaves, a lot of cover, and I wanted to get in without making a lot of disturbances. And my big thing was I hope I don't spook the turkeys off the roost, because they're going to be real loud and probably disturb the deer. So turns out, as soon as I start walking in, I start blowing turkeys off the roost. 1 or 2 here, 3 or 4 there. And next thing you know, my heart's sinking, because I was like, I just made so much ruckus on a quiet opening morning of rifle. There's a good chance I'm not going to see anything. So to make matters worse, one of the worst feelings you ever want to experience as a hunter is I'm about 100 yards from the stand, and my stomach just starts churning and rolling. And I'm sure it had nothing to do with the festivities the night before, but next thing you know, I'm in a sweat, and I'm like, I got to do something. And I had to crouch down and take care of some business. So I finished doing this, and I'm realized that I've overshot my tree. I'm looking at Onyx, and it's so thick in this spot, I don't know where this tree stands at, because I'm moving so slow to try not to make sound that the GPS isn't keeping up, and now I'm twisted up. So I told myself, just calm down. I got to be close. I don't want to be leaving scent all over. This particular stand had a west wind. It was perfect. It was going to be blowing up through the cedars, not towards where I was expecting the deer to be bedded on the neighboring property. And I've already made enough disturbance between the turkeys and having to relieve myself. I don't want to make this worse. So I have a red light on my headlamp, and I'm trying not to, you know, light the whole woods up with the bright light. And I'm looking in the direction that I think the tree stand is, and I don't recall having cat eyes there, when I realized that the cat eyes looking at me were really eyes, and they start moving. And I'm pretty sure that it was a buck that was just cruising through. Fortunately, he was downwind of me. So now I'm like, okay, I've done everything that I can to disturb deer. I had spooked a deer at the stand, I spooked turkeys, about every problem possible. At this point, I just want to get my stand and just settle in. So I get my stand. Thankfully, I was in plenty early before daylight, and as the sun comes up, I see that there's actually a deer not even 100 yards from my stand. So I said, you know what? Let's just throw it at it. I pull out my rattling antlers, and I start doing a little bit of rattling.
Well, it's the opening of rifle here in Missouri. Got a young deer down here feeding. I'm gonna do a little rattling sequence.
So I finished my rattling sequence, and nothing happens. But I started to hear these turkeys, and the turkeys that I had disturbed off the roost, they started to cluck and putt, and they started to regroup. So all of a sudden, it was like this magical experience. There was still a deer out in front of me, and now I see turkeys. And these turkeys are just congregating, they're running around, and they're coming together. And I got this video clip of a turkey pitching in, and it was just like the most magical thing ever when I look over my shoulder, and here comes a nice, beautiful 10-point. Right, picture perfect, in my direction. He's down, baby. Oh, he's down. It's a nice deer. You could tell he was wounded. He was limping, following this doe around the corner of the property line. Yes, can't believe this. I had a really, really, really crappy start to my day. Yeah, he's down. I was coming in the dark. I was busting turkeys off the roost, left and right, and my dad's messaging me. I'll tell you the story here. Yeah, I just dumped a pretty nice buck. Yeah, he dropped in his tracks. He was limping a little bit. He was kind of like marginal, like 130 class, but he looked like he was wounded. He was kind of dogging the doe a little bit, but he's a 3.5-year-old. Looked like a nice buck. So, thanks. So just take your time. I'll come over to send you a pic. He's at the bottom here, right in the corner of the property. All right, I'll see you. Bye.
Well, I'm officially out of tags. What a beautiful morning in northeast Missouri. I had this big old buck chasing a doe, and I could tell he was limping a little bit, so that made my decision real easy to shoot him, you know, wounded buck. And he come around the corner of the property here, and then this doe came out with him. She didn't know what happened to him, I guess, and she offered me a real easy shot, so took my time and I got 2 deer down. So now the real work actually begins. Whew, baby, thank you, Lord. You're watching Cervicide. Never in my life have I done this opening morning a gun, tagged out with a buck and a doe. I mean, this is incredible. So my stand's just right back there over my shoulder, and she came in. She circled around after I shot the buck. So good sized doe, and I really took my time. I didn't want to force it, but I had the opportunity. I want some meat in the freezer, but this buck, man, this buck, look at this buck. He's right here. I mean, they both dropped in their tracks. It's the best feeling in the world. Oh my gosh, look at this deer. Look at this deer, man. Look at that. That is a gorgeous template. That's a gorgeous deer. Oh. What a morning. Here in Missouri. What a great morning. What a beautiful animal. That is a nice deer.
So the craziest thing that I've ever had happen to me in the whitetail woods is I shot not only a beautiful buck, but I shot the doe that he was following as well. I had 2 deer laying there, and I realized I had a bigger problem. I had to pull these deer out individually, and by the time I got them out, I was pretty exhausted, only to find out that one of the other guys had shot a buck. So we met up at the local diner to get breakfast, and when I saw that deer, I immediately recognized it, and I said, that's the stack time buck that I had seen in archery season. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Dude.
He's okay.
Splits, man.
Both split threes.
So it was such a cool opportunity that, you know, my buddy Ashley, he put a beautiful buck in the dirt. I had a buck, and we got breakfast, and we were able to celebrate that moment together. So that first night of deer season, there was a lot of celebration. We had 2 beautiful deer hanging from the meat pole. I had my doe, and both tags filled 2 years in a row. I was so fortunate I got to do it on Saturday, which gave me a couple extra days to hang out at the camp while my dad and the other guys were still out hunting. So on Sunday morning, you know, being a PA guy, you get to hunt every Sunday in Missouri. The whole camp was empty. Ashley took his daughter out, so I was on camp duty, do the dishes, take out the trash, and one of the hunters comes rolling in out of the blue. So immediately I knew, okay, Gunny, you should be in the stand. What do you got? And check this deer out. He shot a really great buck. What you doing back? You're supposed to be hunting. Oh man,
What do you think?
Oh, that's a good one. Heck yeah, man.
Think so? Think so?
Yeah. It's a nice buck, dude.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13 pointer. He would have been 14, but I like these. Dude, you know how far that was.
That's a poke, man.
I don't even know where I hit him at.
So after a great first couple days of rifle, now we have 3 great buck hanging on the meat pole. And just when you think you've seen it all, Monday night we come back and it's time for us to head out, my dad and I. And we're sitting there inside, and Aaron, that's in charge of the Buckbusters club that I'm in, he casually slides his phone over to me and shows me what's on his screen. And I looked at it and I was like, what am I looking at? I was like, a checked deer. And in Missouri, you can telecheck your deer from your phone. So immediately I walked outside to go look in the truck because I didn't know what was going on, and everybody followed me. And I couldn't believe it when I saw that Aaron had shot a drop tine buck.
Is that a drop tine? Did you really kill a drop tine? Dude, you killed a freaking drop tine?
Stink, doesn't he? Something
You
horrible.
killed a drop tine? Dude, let me shake your hand.
Yeah, buddy.
That is a dream of mine.
He lied. Fucking lied.
You guys.
Nice.
That nice freaking knock.
You freaking guys.
How bad does he smell?
He
Wicked.
does stink.
How old is he?
Congrats, man. Dude, he's a drop tine.
No, just saying. I mean, look at his rack, but
I know how old he
his
smells.
body.
That's always been one of my dreams. And to say that the success of Missouri for 2021 was successful, I mean, that's an understatement. We had an awesome year, and it was great to share it with friends. And, you know, just the memories that we made, it was awesome. So, and that's what it's all about. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. I had a lot of fun putting this together. We had a lot of fun hunting, and we hope to have another awesome year here coming for 2022.